Hey guys, when you put a motor and transmission back together, be a nice fella and put all the bolts back in, or at least put it in a baggie for the guy who's gonna buy it and get screwed over, so he at least has the bolts to put back in when he figures out that where they go. That would be great. That would be fantastic. That makes no sense.
No, none.
Alright, we're back. So last video there, we went and picked Steven's Cherokee here up, and battery was dead, so we had to use my little jump box deal to get it off the trailer, pulled in here. It's got a noise that we're trying to figure out what it is. And you said what, you lost reverse-ish? So, but the battery was dead, so we ended last video with us putting on a trickle charger and kind of talking about the Jeep. So go back and watch it if what we've done to it so far. I've took the trickle charger off, so we'll see if we still have our 12 volts that we should have. We do 12.62.
Let's see if it'll start.
Yeah, go ahead and start it. So it definitely sounds like it's in the bell housing. So looks like we'll be pulling the transmission.
Does it have an inspection plate?
I think it does. We was looking at it earlier there. If you can see down in there, you have a little plate on the bottom section.
Yeah.
So we should be able to take that out with a couple bolts there and see what we might be able to see. You are missing bolts. That same bolt missing on this side, on that side, is missing on this side.
Is it?
In that almost tells me
Somebody's been in there.
someone's already been in it. Let's climb underneath here then. And there ain't a bolt on this other. The plate's even broke on this other side. No bolt. Hey, Big Sexy.
Yes, sir.
Steven's asking you a question.
What is it you always say about safety?
Safety third.
Safety third. Who needs safety glasses? They get all scarred up and scratched up anyways. Can't see out of them. So you can see here, it's broke here, it's mangled there. Well, can't really see much.
Ain't no little parts laying in there.
I don't feel no
Pieces
little
of
parts.
stuff.
Well, that off, let me back out and start it up.
All right.
And see if maybe that, because that was kind of loose. Well, that still don't solve your no reverse. But
Definitely leaking something down here.
oh yeah.
What is that?
Well, that's oil, but kind of has a hint smell of fuel. I'm not tasting it. All right, let me get out of the way. Go ahead and start it there, Ben. you're missing an oil pan screw also, or a transmission pan screw, I just noticed. More horsepower, less weight.
Safety third.
Yeah. It was definitely louder, you say?
It was louder.
So it's definitely, it's probably here in the bell housing. It's probably either, I mean, the flywheel don't look, the flywheel and it don't look loose. Well, all right then, I guess we'll carry on. We have separation already of the transmission and the motor.
Well, that would be a problem.
Yeah, that's lovely. Oh, it's separated all the way up through there. Well, I guess first things first, we need to start back here. I believe it's an 8. We're finding lovely stuff all day. Well, you're missing one bolt here in your U-joint. There's a wheel chock I'm about to take the drive shaft out, so we won't have nothing.
Oh, okay.
Maybe safety second.
It's all right.
Well, that'll be fun. So, took obviously the back straps off here. Take the back drive shaft off. So if y'all ain't ever done this before, take that off. Or this one's just a stock Jeep Cherokee. Right here, it'll just slide out of the transmission. Just like that. Whew. Right off of there. We'll just set that aside right here. Strap on. And what we've noticed here, someone's wrung that bolt off. So what we're gonna need to do is, it's a Chrysler. I've got one outside. We can take this pinion nut off, wring it out, pull this off, just to make it easy. We'll put a new yoke on it. And then there you go.
Is that fuel?
When we get it out. Oh. They didn't just do your front or your back drive shaft, bud. They wrung one off on your front one too. Oh, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Well, luckily for you, sir, I've got both of these. You wouldn't believe this, Ben. They wrung a nut off in both yokes. Or not nut, but bolt. Oh, by the way, these yokes will be about $1 million a piece.
I'll write you a check.
Okay, it's in the mail. The check's in the mail. Ain't my fault you ain't got it. It's in the mail. Now this one, drive shaft, you have to take it off both sides. Because right here is where it slips in the front. Slips right here. For the back, slipped right here on the actual transfer case. So what we'll do is we'll pull this out so we can rotate the transfer case here, drive shaft at the transfer case. then we'll be able to hopefully get this out if we can. Might have to go the right way, huh? Would that help? Yeah. Yeah, it goes better. You go the correct way. No.
Good news. There's a bolt on that one.
Well, yeah. Hold on. We'll don't speak too soon. Let's make sure all four are here before we say good news. Oh my goodness, taking forever. Everybody, you don't have to put these on at 500 foot-pounds. Good gracious. Ah. Yeah. Not talking about me. So I blame Steve for this. He's the one that says, hey, let's start a YouTube channel. You do good fixing things. Which they're, I mean, heck, might as well do it. Might as well share the joy. So we're gonna grind here on the face of the bolt, get it cleaned up. We're gonna put this nut right here. And then what I'll do is I'll weld on the inside of the nut to fill that in. And that should give us a good should weld good together since I'm cleaning the face up. And we'll just put a wrench and hopefully we'll just be able to pull it right off. Alright, let's let that cool off a little bit. I think that might be
It's like 9/16.
9/16 what it looks like, yeah. Trying to keep this from turning. Oh yeah, worked perfect. All right. Should have Steve over here, Mr. Acorn, come over here and use his fingers to get this off.
Busy on this camera, brother.
Oh, okay. Okay, good excuse. That's a good excuse. I mean, you're the one that said.
The camera guy's a good job.
You're the one that says, "Daggone, you're always cold," from being from Michigan. I mean, come on, man. You should embrace it. That should be like your natural habitat. You don't hear polar bears saying, "I'm cold." I guess them years in Florida just ruined you, huh? Is that what it was?
Or perfect.
Yeah.
It'd still be hot.
Yeah, she's gonna be a little warm anyways. Alright, so drive shaft is out. Okay. So now we're gonna take us a break, get us a juice box. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Fun stuff. But hey, we're making progress. Shoo! Have you ever seen that done like that? Have you ever seen that done like that? Weld it to get the bolt out?
You gotta do that for my seatbelt.
So right here's the yoke we'll take off for the front one. This is the front axle. That was hacked off my 95. Let's go out back. There you go. I got another axle up there behind the tractor with the backhoe. Same. Shoo! This is gonna be fun getting to them top bolts.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at earlier. That's why I was shining that light in there to see if you could even see them.
I'm hoping they go in this way.
Yeah, I think they do. I couldn't see a thing back in there.
I think it's wild. So which these Cherokees have the coil springs in the front, leaf in the back. These started what, late 80s? 88, 87, something, 89, somewhere in there. Okay, so we know at least 88 then. I think 87, I think you're on it. And, well, the TJ has the same front end. I can take my TJ axle and put it in here. And the springs drop right, I mean, it's the same exact front end. Which, depending on the year, Jeep and Dodge in general, Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, they got to the, they're using like vacuum hoses. Like my Dodge Ram has it, which it broke, so it has a cable now. But it uses a diaphragm, the vacuum sucks it, and it slides over a ring over top. They call it a short axle. So you have your short side axle, which would be your hog head, like here, we'll look here. So say, here's your hog head, you know, ring and pinion. So they call this short axle long side. So, well, like on my Dodge Ram, and then my buddy's YJ, when he had it got fat right here, and that's how you can tell. It'll, right here on the axle tube itself, it'll get thicker. And there's, on the back side, there's a fork, that vacuum diaphragm. So what you do is you got a short axle here to here, and then here to here. And then it has a collar that when you're in two-wheel drive, it'll pull it over. So the wheels are spinning free, but the drive shaft ain't spinning at all. And then when you pull it into four-wheel drive, it uses the vacuum to slide that fork over, which then slides, it's connected to like a ring, and it'll slide over top and link both of the two axle shafts together. So now you got all the power going, because if not, it would just spin it, because it's free, you know, it has no torque on it or whatever. There's no, torque's not the word, there's no resistance on it. So, and then I guess, I think it's garbage. You know, it's kind of a toss-up. I'd say if you want that, you need lockout hubs. Just do it to where you can unlock your hubs and you're done. But that, to me, that's an extreme weak point, and people four-wheeling obviously has showed that that's, you know, talk about that's being, it's a very undesirable axle. I think the one up in the woods that I've got is like that, and I'm pretty sure the one that you've got at the house is like that. Got the vacuum stuff. But, yeah, I don't know where that went to come from, but yeah. Okay.
Somebody needed to hear it.
Yeah, somebody needed to hear that. They're garbage. Throw them away. But What was I getting to? Oh, the YJs. The YJs have that. It's like the silver Jeep Blackjack I've got, which we ain't disclosed what's in it. We'll get to that one day. We'll leave that as a cliffhanger for y'all. But I want to do like a Chevrolet, just because Chevrolet, for some reason Chevrolet parts are easier to get. So I want to do like a Chevrolet wiring harness to tie in the heater and all that, to just basic, like an old square body truck, or just like an old whatever, old Camaro. Just there's nothing to it. You got the motor, because the motor's it's fuel injected, but it's carburetor style. It's got EFI on it, sniper on it. So hint, hint, it's got a sniper on it. So it's internally, but I can throw a carburetor on it. So, but to run the motor and all that, and then just the heater and the lights and whatever, you don't need. All that goes through the computer. And why? It's just switches and relays, and there's no need for it. Yeah. Get your preps. You gotta have a doomsday vehicle. I'm just saying. You gotta have at least one.
We have a whole different show for that.
Check us out on the Dig Bible podcast. That'll get you prepared for doomsday. Well, so since y'all come back with us here after a break, looking up here at the top transmission mount, the bolt is gone. We have this one here, which you have probably an 1/8 inch gap here. I'm coming your way. We have starter mounted, so that's tight. The bolt here is gone. Can't see up there. I don't think you got any bolts, bro, holding this thing together. We have to take this transmission thing off first. This transmission shifter bracket. I feel bad because I was the one who told you, yeah, buy it.
I brought you with me on purpose.
How much
we didn't do a thorough bolt check.
I know what's wrong. I don't have my hair on.
I mean, that's half the problem.
We might have to wear my hair in the next episode.
Pretty good.
Oh yeah. Makes it easier, doesn't it? Alright, that one's tight. Alright. Alright, no bolt there. You're missing the bolt here. Oh, it's ridiculous. You can't daggone script this. You literally have two bolts holding your transmission together. And how much? You drove it for what?
Oh, 500 miles.
It's ridiculous.
You can't feel them up in there.
Big old fat boy being the acrobatic. Let's see, there's the sensor.
It's called being dedicated right here.
No bolt there either. That's ridiculous. We got one little star bolt here up top. Go fire it up, see what it does. I doubt that's gonna do anything, but.
Did you tighten them ones up? Is that what you did?
I tightened the one that I could get to.
Yeah, it probably ain't gonna do nothing.
Is this really all a bolt issue? I would love that to be the problem.
I'm sure you would love that to be the. I'm kind of wondering if that might be the problem. Hey guys, when you put a motor and transmission back together, be a nice fella and put all the bolts back in, or at least put it in a baggie for the guy who's gonna buy it and get screwed over, so he at least has the bolts to put back in when he figures out that where they go. That would be great. That would be fantastic. That makes no sense.
No, none.
Unless it's separating somehow, making it bang. It's hitting something. But you think it pulled apart.
You didn't close it more than...
It was open like an 1/8 inch, maybe 3/16 of an inch.
That don't make no sense.
For y'all in Europe, I don't know what millimeters or whatever that is, so.
It's about that far.
Yeah, it's this far. It's from this to this. It's somewhere in between there and there is where it's at.
Here's what I think too. I think we ought to put it back, get all the bolts, bolt it back up with all the bolts, but then put the rear drive shaft in.
Yeah.
And then start it.
And see.
And just listen. And then put the front one in. Don't put them both in at the same time. Put one in and fire it. See. And then have him do what he did. Reverse.
Okay. All right.
Drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then.
Because that at least binds up the transmission.
Yeah. And then we'll know. And then if it doesn't do nothing and it moves, put the front one in. Go through the same process, and we get noise, then we know maybe there's something in that transfer case. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Or we could try to narrow it down like that, but this doesn't make any sense at all. But there's no force on it right now. You put it in gear, it's just there's nothing. You know what I mean? There's no torque going through the drive shaft.
There's no binding.
There's nothing for it to get any. It can freewheel in there without any. And it could be that once we put some load on it again, that maybe the noise comes back. That may be why the noise ain't there.
Possibly.
And then put some load on it, and then see if that, because you tightened up all the bolts that were in.
There's 2 bolts.
That's it.
That's all
Out of
that's
like
holding
6. There's supposed to be like 6.
6 or 8. Yeah.
That thing ain't on wheels, is it?
Nope. One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So these are missing.
Yep.
These 3.
There's one up there.
There's one out of these 3. And then there's only one more underneath.
One here. And one there.
And that's it. That's all it's holding it in.
That's all it looks like.
Good Lord Almighty.
So what I'm seeing is that transmission here, that with nothing, because the starter kind of bolts here, or here and here.
The starters.
Or no, the starter's on this side.
Yeah, it's right over there.
Yeah, right there. That one's missing.
Can you even get your hand in there?
That one's there. That one's a star. That one's loose. That one's missing. So there's only one of the three in the top.
Lord have mercy. And you gotta get to them from up here, don't you?
Yeah.
Gotta be a friggin' acrobat.
And that one's like an E-bolt. You know what an E is? It's like a reverse Torx. Like a Torx bit,
okay.
but it's reversed.
Yeah. Like a
That's these three.
Window.
That would be the three. So if we took that Torx out and just put these three in, but like you said, I just don't see why that would quieten it down unless him driving loosened it up. I mean, obviously it's wrong. All the bolts should be in there.
Really?
Well, you know,
in theory.
safety's third, so in theory they should all be there. You drove it 500 miles without, so there's that. You don't need that. Yeah. You don't need that, little guy. What kind of mess you got us into?
Does that metal plate go all the way around?
It might be it, and that might be what's catching.
It does.
It's awfully loud for that to be what's
Sounds pretty similar.
That sounds pretty close. That, man, you really don't want to have to pull the motor out just to put some transmission bolts on. That's the noise, and that sometimes you hear it, sometimes you don't. That would be why. That don't mean your transmission ain't screwed, because that shouldn't have anything to do with that torque converter. So we might be at the point where we just want to call it a night, call it a day, night, whatever time it is. Yeah. Well, the snowball begins to roll. We'll see you next time.